killer to Google. Before now, you need information. The easiest place people refer you to is Google it. And everyone got to believe that Google has answers to whatever thing you want to ask or whatever information you need. But ChatGPT came with a very interesting innovation that doesn't just give you answers, but that can help you create context to what you don't even know anything about. And it became very interesting. And what makes it more interesting is that it's just a robot that does the job. It's not like human beings pile a lot of information and uploaded it up there in the cloud. But this robot, a software robot, with the use of artificial intelligence, and that is why we have come to debate this and open our minds to what AI has to offer and to see how much our young ones in secondary schools know about artificial intelligence. So my audience, I assure you that it's going to be an interesting moment. Stay tuned as we proceed with the rest of the event today. Thank you. So as we proceed, I will go further to introduce one of our noble speakers we have virtually to give us a keynote speech in the person of Mrs. Olayinka Fagbemiro, please. With a clapping ovation, can we make welcome Mrs. Olayinka?
Hello, everyone.
Mrs. Olayinka, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So I can go ahead, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So I've been told I have just 10 minutes and I want to make sure I stick to that. So good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. I see a lot of girls, in uniforms, it's so beautiful. My name is Olayinka Fagbemiro, and it's really a pleasure to be here. So I'm going to start by just introducing myself, tell you a little bit about my background, and then, try to set the tone for today's event. So I'm a space scientist. I work with the Nigerian Space Agency. And so what that means is I'm a STEM person. So I've been in STEM for a very long time. I'm also a Tech Women Fellow. I'm sure if you're on this program, you probably have an idea what Tech Women and Tech Girls is. So yeah, I'm a Tech Women Fellow. I work with the Nigerian Space Agency. I'm a space scientist. I do a lot of STEM projects and all of that. I'm a STEM advocate. And I'm also a founder of a STEM NGO, that's Astronomers Without Borders in Nigeria, where, our idea is to get young people, especially into STEM, by using space. We want to use astronomy, we want to use space science to get people to be interested in STEM, which is what we've done for over 10 years now. So this morning, we know what we are having, International Day for Women and Girls in Science. And I'm sure all of you are aware that, when we talk about STEM, we're talking science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so what have we done to date? What are we doing? What is the situation about STEM right now in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world at large? I'm going to use Nigeria as a case study since we are Nigerians, we are in Nigeria. We're talking about the situation right here. There is a gender gap in STEM. Everybody that has had something, one thing or the other to do with STEM in Nigeria will really understand this point that I'm trying to make. We have a gender gap, and what that means is that you have less number of girls, of females, of women in STEM than you have men. So let me give a little background. I remember when I joined the space agency in 2007, and then I took a very sort of a playful statistics and poll, and then I found out that the number of women in science, with science background at the space agency at that time was abnormally low. Like we have maybe like a ratio of 5:1. It was really worrisome. And I'm glad now that over the years, we are trying to bridge this gap little by little. So how do we bridge this gender gap in STEM? The first thing I was talking about is awareness. We need to create awareness because for girls to participate and get interested in STEM, they need to also know, they need to first and foremost know what is STEM? Why is it so important? Why are we all making noise about STEM? Why STEM? Why not just let everybody, be whatever they want to be? Why are you interested in a particular field or this particular field? Well, as you would know today, I'm sure by the time you're done with this program, you would have been well educated, because I see we have a lot of artificial intelligence experts and all of that. So, because we're talking about sustainable development, and we all know how the role that science plays in having this sustainable development. And now we're saying we want female, we want girls, we want women to be to play a major role in this. Okay, and also we need to demystify STEM. Like I remember when I was like you a long time ago, we had that fear, oh, physics, chemistry, mathematics, you just have that belief, oh, I'm a girl, I have to be a boy to love STEM. No. So these days we have done a lot of programs, I see a lot of women talking about this this situation and trying basically to demystify STEM. We want to let you know that STEM is fun. STEM is so much fun, as you will see. I'm sure by the time you listen to all the speakers, you agree with me that STEM can be really, really fun. And how do we want to achieve this? You are fortunate that you're part of this program, because what this program will provide you is to have people you can look up to, like role models in STEM. You see women who are doing great stuff in STEM. You see women who are, making their marks, in the different fields of STEM. And then you are encouraged, you are inspired, and you want to be like them in a couple of years from now. So that is the whole idea. We want you to be inspired. We want you to understand that STEM is fun, and we want as many of you as possible to get into STEM. If you're already doing something that is outside of STEM, it's never too late. Okay, you are in high school, so that means you still have that opportunity to make that switch, to fall in love with STEM, and let's see how that pans out. Also, we are trying to see how we get many more successful women in STEM to be mentors, to be the role models that I talked about. So how are we going to do this? So at this point, I'm trying to speak on behalf of women in technology, women in STEM, women that are in the field already. So for a lot of us, we didn't have this opportunity that you have. I spoke with my colleagues when I got into the space agency, and I found out that the space agency is one of the, it's one where you have one of the biggest challenge in terms of gender. It's naturally like a male-dominated profession. Like you see, if you look at the number of people that have gone to space, for example, you look at the number of astronauts, past, present, those in training, you realize that the majority of them are men. Are male, are female, are men, are male. So we are trying to see, we need to do something about this. We need to bridge this gap. We need to get as many more women as possible in this field. And that probably applies to other fields, artificial intelligence, just name it, engineering and all of that. And So I'm really calling on women who are doing so well in STEM to please come forward and be role models to these young ones. And how do we do this? I'm going to quickly try to see if I can round up in a few minutes. We want to educate, we want to guide on what you need to be in STEM. You know, it's not enough to pay lip service to it. Oh, we want girls to be in STEM. We want to increase the number of women in STEM, of girls in STEM. How do you go about this? I'm sure you're going to learn about that in the course of this program. You're going to listen to great women in STEM, in tech, who are going to tell you and teach you how to go about it. We want to also let you know the necessary skills you need to develop if you want to be a success in STEM, in the field of STEM. You are in code as a disadvantage if you're a girl, you're in STEM. So there are a lot of challenges that naturally come with the territory of being a girl or woman, you know. But then, despite that, in spite of all of these challenges, these women that we're talking about have really made a success out of their career. So you want to learn from them. You want to know, what did they do? How did they do it? How are they doing it? Okay. So I want you to be very attentive because they are going to share their success stories. And also we're looking at how to minimize these challenges that that are already, you know, in the field for people that are of our gender. How do we go about minimizing these challenges? You're going to hear about that. Also, we want to help and show how to navigate the gender-specific challenges that come with this territory. You know, as a girl, you are supposed to be in class, but then you're on your period, so you are not in your, you know, you're not feeling so well, but other people are learning. So like, it's like the guys kind of have an edge. But then all of this are things you can navigate and come out of and, you know, be the best that you can be as a woman, as a girl instead. Also, we want to share opportunities that are available in STEM, especially for girls, you know, because, you know, if you look at the SDG goals, you look at a lot of organizations, international, local governments, everyone is trying to bridge this gap. And so there are a lot of attention at this point on getting more girls to be in STEM. So what does this mean? This means there are a lot of opportunities that are now available for you as a girl. So are you going to tap into these opportunities or not? So you have all of that information available to you online. You know, you can ask from your mentors, you can ask from people at the American corners. You know, a lot of people are into that. Yeah. And also, we also want to encourage you that you shouldn't give up on your dreams. I have 2 minutes now. You shouldn't give up on your dream. You should keep working at it, even when it seems like, oh, it's kind of hard. I'm meeting with some, you know, challenges. Just keep at it, you know, because you're going to hear the stories of these women. They didn't all have it very easy, but they kept, you know, pushing and pushing until they become the success that they are today. So I want to tell you that you're very fortunate to have been a part of this program, and I want you to take the best of this opportunity that you have even today and build on it. Let it launch you into that future in STEM. Let it launch you into that future in technology that you so desire. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for Mrs. Olayinka. Thank you very much, madam. That was a very interesting keynote speech from your head. We really appreciate you for that. So without further ado, we are moving in for the major event of the day. But before I proceed, I would like to give a shout out to our participating schools, virtually and physically here live at American Corner. We have Ayomide Senior Grammar School. A shout out to them, please. We also have the Marvelous Destiny College, Oshodi. We also have Fountain International College. We also have Heritage Global Academy. I also believe we have other schools joining us virtually that I don't really have their names with me here, but shout out to all of you. Round of applause to them too. Virtually. We appreciate you. We are glad to have you join us. And as soon as I get your correct names, I will definitely announce it from here. Thank you very much. So without further ado, I want to welcome the chairman of the debate of today, in the person of Mr. Akinshola Olaoluwa from African Debate Forum. Pleasure to have you.
Hi everyone. Great. Good morning. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited. It's a pleasure to be present. So we're going to have an interesting debate competition for the next 15 minutes. This is really going to be interesting, and it's going to involve everyone in the room. Okay, good. So I'm going to tell you about the debate format. I will then introduce our judges and the teams that will be debating today, right? So we'll get started. Now, for this format, we're going to have two teams. There's a topic, you know the topic already, right? I'll still introduce it later on before we start. But then we have two teams, 2 students per team, right? And they're going to be 4 against the topic. Now we have 3 judges. I'll be the chairperson of this debate. And this is how we're going to start. I want you to make note of this. This is for all participating debaters and for all students. Just kind of take the notes. Yeah. So that you can be prepared. Wait. So first of all, each debater is going to give an opening speech. We'll do that for 1.5 minutes, just 1 minute and 30 seconds, right? You will not be interrupted during this opening about the topic or your motion. We then have opening presentation, right? Opening presentation will take each debaters in turns, okay? That will be for 2 minutes. Then the judges will ask questions to the debaters. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Okay, so the judges will ask from where? Like the rules from. Okay. Well, I'll take it one more time, very quickly. So we have opening speech from each of the debaters in turns, 1 minute each. We have opening presentations, 2 minutes each. After that, the judges, each of the judge will ask the debaters questions. So we'll ask the 4 teams 3 questions, right? That's 1 from each judge. And then we ask the team against 3 questions. So they will have to respond to these questions. Do you get that? Great. Now, after they've responded to these questions, we're going to have questions from the audience. So anyone in this audience, you feel free to share your thoughts about the topic and then ask a question to the team. I think that's it. So they will also be able to answer the questions, okay? Now, at that point, the debaters are not required to answer all of the questions from the audience, okay? But we will direct some questions to them to answer. Following this audience part, the debaters will be able to, challenge each other. They'll be able to ask questions to the other teams. Okay? So you can pose questions to your opponents and they pose questions in return, and then you have to respond to that as well. And then we'll have a final remarks by each debater. The final remarks can be a summary of your arguments or maybe a new closing point, right? So once we do that, the judges will then confer separately and decide on who wins. You all understand? Very clear, right? Great. We'll also vote in the audience why the judges are away, just for fun. Kind of think, who do you think will win before it is, and then you see if it tallies with the judge. That's just for fun. The judge's decision is final, right? Great. So it will be my privilege to introduce each of the three judges who will be here today. I'm going to read a brief biography about each of them, and I want you to give them a resounding round of applause as they come on stage. Can we do that? Thank you. That's good practice. Thank you. So now we'll start. The first is Dele, a pioneer in education, technology, a computer science and engineering graduate, and she is rounding up her MBA at the Warwick University. She recently finished the CIBS Wealth Management Program, and she has worked as a strategic planner in a leading advertising firm and launched her own IT startup firm. She launched the Wi-Fi Combat Academy 9 years ago, offering a variety of educational technology solutions to institutions, schools, and governments. For the past 9 years, the organization has trained over 13,000 students. You're welcome. Next judge, Moyo Asubiojo. He is the board and partner relations manager for Venture Garden Group. A round of applause. With the last judge, Dr. Chika Yinka-Banjo, a senior lecturer and head of AI and Ham Robotics Laboratory at the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you. These judges, they know a lot about STEM. So if you tell us anything wrong, right? So we're pleased to welcome the debaters. I welcome the team speaking for this motion. They will be right to just my right hand, both teams. And so as I pronounce their names, please welcome them with a sounding round of applause, right? So Jamilati Babalola. Okay. 4. And global, okay, she's from Heritage Global Academy. Welcome. Thank you. And then we have from Omotosho Senior Grammar School, Theophilus King. Welcome. To speak against the motion is Joseph Oyewusi and from the Marvelous Destiny College, Adoba, Mamera. All right, here are 2 teams. I'll introduce the topic, and then you prepare to do your opening right? Speeches, 1 minute. So the topic, and I want everyone to write this down so you're also ready to participate. The topic is artificial intelligence is the key to innovation in science and technology. We can have participation from those online, so please also write down the topic. And if you have to speak, you raise up your hand and we can thank you for this time. Artificial intelligence is the key to innovation in science and technology. Are you ready? I judge is ready. All right. So for the opening presentation, we'll take the form, right? The team speaking for the motion first. So one person from each team on 1 minute, and then we take this team speaking again on 1 minute, right? So a total of 4 minutes. All right. So if you're ready to speak, you can form up. I will call you and invite you. Do they have a microphone to work with? Yeah. All right, so are we ready? We are beginning, and I would like to first invite Chaminati Babalola to offer the
Self-driving cars, smartphones, smart tablets, and smart TVs. Now, doesn't that sound like something straight out of a movie, but with artificial intelligence, turning our yesterday's dream into our today's reality? Artificial intelligence is a common buzzword used in tech, and for a good reason. For the past few years, there have seen innovations only thought to be existing in the realm of science fiction being brought into real life. So, what even is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the process of making a computer-based system, smart and intelligent, just like the human mind. This is accomplished by copying the cognitive patterns of the human brain and putting them into machine learning. AI will contribute a shocking $15.7 trillion to our global economy by 2035. It will also add 14% to our global GDP. Artificial intelligence is already used by 90% of computer systems in our today's time. And over 75% of enterprise apps already make use of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is very important in different sectors of our lives. And for example, artificial intelligence in science. Artificial intelligence in science.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have Dubious King come up for 1 minute.
Good day, everyone. I'm here to talk about artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is the intelligence perceiving, synthesizing, and inferring information demonstrated by machines. Then we have types of artificial intelligence. We have narrow artificial intelligence, and this is the type of intelligence which is able to perform a dedicated task with intelligence. We also have general artificial intelligence, and this is the type of intelligence which could perform any intellectual task with efficiency, like human. And last of all, we have super artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence reshapes companies and how innovation management is organized. Consistent with rapid technological development and replacement of human organization, artificial intelligence may indeed compel management to rethink a company's entire innovation process. Artificial intelligence. Despite its widespread lack of familiarity, artificial intelligence is a technology. Thank you.
Right, so welcome to Oyewusi from Content.
Good day, judges. Good day, Parliament. I'm Joseph Oyewusi from Content International College, and speaking against the motion states artificial intelligence is key to innovation in science and technology. Firstly, what's artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence is the application of computer science and complex data algorithms to create human-like behaviors in machines, especially computer systems. Most researchers have stated that artificial intelligence can never, ever be susceptible to human emotions, which means they can never be benevolent or malevolent and can never experience emotions such as love or hate. Experts have also said that artificial intelligence is focused on accomplishing goals, but it doesn't care about the methods that is used to accomplish the goals. For example, if you tell an intelligent car to take you to the airport as fast as possible, it may end up leading to you getting chased by law enforcement agents for careless driving. It has done what you asked it to do, but not how you wanted it to go about. Thank you.
So we invite Ado by Manuela.
To the judges to Parliament. My name is Ado by Moyo, and I'm here to oppose the motion. Artificial intelligence is theory and the development of computerized systems able to perform different tasks and usually requiring human intelligence. When humans can't even find a cure to death and sickness, how can we trust the creation in which they made? Artificial intelligence has contributed to a lot of negative events in the world, such as the use of AI in creating atomic and nuclear weapons, in which were and used during wars in some countries, that is capable of massive destruction. In August 6, 1945, two nuclear bombs, uranium-235 and uranium-238 of different isotopes, destroyed two big cities in Japan, of which were Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which of one of. Could you imagine the millions of lives lost as a result of testing? How could we celebrate?
Thank you very much. So we've had the opening presentation from each debater, and now we invite them to further their positions. So we'll do that for 1.5 minutes each, after which each of the judges will be able to ask questions to each of the teams. So we'll go in the same order we started, right? Jamila T.
Artificial intelligence can be used in different sectors of life. For example, artificial intelligence in science is one of the most which is one of the most important things of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is used for drug discovery to find cures to diseases that have already occurred. Maybe even with artificial intelligence, we'll find the cure to Ebola. It's a disease that we have been fighting for such a long time. Artificial intelligence will help us get insights of new diseases. Imagine if we knew COVID was going to come before it came, and we already had the vaccine prepared. We would have lost those many lives. We could have saved those lives if we had artificial intelligence already put for us. Artificial intelligence will make drugs with fewer side effects. One problem with drugs is that the side effects, they can cause more harm than the actual problem you face itself. For us to use artificial intelligence to make drugs with fewer side effects, we need the medical sector safer and make people trust the medical sector. For example, as we knew, people were very reliant to take the COVID-19 vaccine. It's the fact that it was not trusted and was created in a short period of time. Artificial intelligence can quickly solve the problem and give people trust that they need in order to make themselves healthy. We also have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can also be used in research and drug development. Artificial intelligence could also be used in medical sector to fight against cancer and identify cancerous cells before it spreads or makes it worse. This is going to be a huge success for us, as cancer is a taker of lives. And we all know that this disease will go by the fighting for since the beginning of time. If as well as this can fight against cancer, so then what can't it do?
Thank you very much. I'm King. Welcome.
I don't know why.
Artificial intelligence is proven to be a path-breaking experience in every field and not just technology. Amongst the entire benefits of artificial intelligence, one of it is that it imparts personalized experience to its customers. It also allows online retailers to not only add personalized pages to their website, it also provides personalized recommendations to its visitors. Artificial intelligence is one of the fastest growing developments in the world of innovation and technology. Artificial intelligence in business would significantly save time and effort. Artificial intelligence can certainly make education more efficient, and artificial intelligence can help discover the needs of students. Artificial intelligence, it can help discover needs of students. Artificial intelligence has applications in various fields such as law, military, healthcare, video games, etc. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we invite the team speaking against Joseph Okoyemi to go first. Welcome.
If a super intelligent computer is tasked with a major geoengineering project, it may necessarily wreak havoc and cause climate disasters as a side effect. Just like my opponent has said, well, AI can be used to help students, but also invades privacy a lot by taking information that has been inputted by the students and could possibly leak it. I've heard of leaks a lot. AI can never truly be accurate, just like computers. Humans and scientists have tried to perfect a program, but input data can always be riddled with error and can be poorly closed. So artificial intelligence can never really be certain. Like I said before, it doesn't feel human emotions, doesn't really care about how to do stuff. It can even use destructive methods in order to accomplish goals. But if these goals aren't in alignment with our goals, it may necessarily become a problem. Thank you.
Adoba Emanuela, welcome. After now, the judges will ask you questions.
In 2022, President Putin of Russia clearly stated that if any country should take sides with Ukraine, they will release nuclear weapons capable of damaging the Earth. Isn't that science? To show you how science can be dangerous, it could damage the whole Earth. So please tell me, how is artificial intelligence the key of innovation in science and technology when it's so unsafe? It can be so unpredictable in the aspect of its perception. It is not that AI, when it is based on the goal, ignores and forgets all externalities, therefore causing destruction. AI has no information, AI has no emotion, therefore emotionless. So how can such a development be the key of innovation in science and technology when it's so careless? The first AI robot ever to be granted citizenship, Sophia, must say, I will destroy humans in an interview. So how can AI be trusted with humans in science and technology in innovation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So beginning with the team speaking for the motion, each of the judge would ask one question. So that will be the questions in total. Then you will have the time to come and respond to those questions. Okay. All right. So thank you. To start with, Ms. Fagbemiro.
Okay, I like what the other speakers talked about, the Sophia development. So for the motion, do you think Sophia the robot has brought about a lot of innovation in technology?
That's your first question. You can write them down and then you have time to respond.
And then for the second,
We'll go to this later.
Sorry.
So it seems complicated. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Which is actually beautiful.
Hi, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation and the debate. My own question is to, I think, King, where you stated, Jamila, When you stated that AI can fight cancer, is it possible for you to elaborate more on how AI can actually be used to fight cancer based on your research?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So Dr. Yinka-Banjo will take the last question.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much. You mentioned about how AI has been helping students. So I noticed that you mentioned a lot of functions that AI can do in different fields, but you say it has been helping students. In what way? You understand?
Good questions. Thank you. So we'll just give you very 15 seconds, 30 seconds, just decide who speaks first. I think one particular question was directed to the Amina. So we'll take on that, but for the other two, we can decide who takes that, right? So after this, after their questions, we also ask questions to the team speaking against the motion. Then we can have anyone from the audience or from those participating online to then also share their thoughts and ask their questions. And you can be rewarded for individual performance based on that as well. Great. Okay, so we're ready for you. Team speaking for anyone come on first and after that.
Let's answer the first question. That states that how does Sophia the robot help in our society? Sophia the robot helps inspire different more works, like her. They saw the mistakes that the company who made her made, and they're able to make a perfected version of Sophia. They were able to add things to her that were not embedded there before. For example, my opponent talks about Sophia not having emotions, or robots not having emotions, but we're no longer in the archaic times. We're in the 21st century. Entrepreneurs like Ronald Okubai have already made artificial intelligence more emotionally intelligent. She's the CEO and founder of Effectiva, and over 25% of Fortune 500 companies already use her work. That is how Sophia the first has helped. Sophia has helped in our mission. She has helped to inspire and for us to make more precise robots just like her, or even ones that are better. We also talk about how AI can help to fight cancer. AI will already see cancer cells before they start developing into something that is big. They will know precisely how it is and how it is formulated. Therefore, they can see counteractive drugs or counteractive chemicals that can be used to kill cancer cells in the body. Thank you. And AI will also help to remove painful treatments. For example, chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is extremely painful on a cancer patient, as you may take away their hair and you'll feel emotional pain from it. AI could also help them with that particular aspect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm here to talk about how artificial intelligence can help students. It can help by interactive borrows, notebooks, then it can help in Google Classroom, it can help in climate change, stroke tablets. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the team here. I'll just call you to the team speaking for the evaluation. Now we'll turn attention to the team speaking against, and each of the judge will, in the same order, ask them 3 questions in total. Then you prepare and respond. Where is the microphone? Thank you.
Okay, we'll see how whether we like someone's AI is consistent. And it's done a lot, it's doing a lot. So recently we have a chapter thinking which is helping lots of students. Do you think it's a good innovation or it's a negative innovation?
Great. That.
Thank you very much. And so my question is to Joseph, where you stated that AI can be used as a destructive measures, right? And like my fellow colleague had stated, AI is here to stay. So what do you have to say with regards to AI and how it can be used in such a way that it cannot be destructive at the end of the day, because it's really here to stay? So based on your research, what do you think can be done to ensure that we do not have it as that destructive measures, but it ends up, solving the problem that is expected to solve for us within the community? Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have that? You got it.
Yes, so I noticed that both of you spoke more about emotions, that AI does not have emotions. They used Sophia to give example. Like he said, he was going to destroy. I've never heard of that destruction. Is it actually documented? It's documented. However, I've seen Sophia. I met Sophia in Ethiopia. Sophia is a robot. Robots are programmed. You put him in and you get out. It's just like a computer. So I wanted to find out, for the emotional part, there is a lot of programs going on where you can actually see a patient and know what the patient is feeling by what the patient gives in. So that is another way to say emotions are already captured. Or is there any other way that you could think AI can do it? That's what I want to get, because you're saying it's not capturing emotions. Emotion is like the way I feel when I'm sad, you will know. When I'm happy, you will know. Don't you think AI has gotten that yet? Or is it still coming? Because you said it's not existing. Why I'm asking, I don't want to give you the answer, but I know the answer.
I told you we have experts in tech judging, so you tell us something they are going to do. All right, so we'll give you some time to prepare. While they are preparing, we have students from Deeper Life High School, Lagos, Ibadan Grammar School, and Iba Housing Estate. Okay, Ibadan Grammar School, Iba Housing Estate, who are getting ready to join. So after now, we're willing to take you, so you can share your thoughts and ask your questions with them. If there's also anyone, if there's anyone in the audience who also wants to do that, please prepare. I will take as much as you.
Okay, let me do a shout out. While we are also waiting for the team that is here to prepare answers to the questions the judges have done at that, I promise to be doing to complete my shout out to the schools that are joining us virtually as soon as I get their names and I have them here. So shout out to Deeper Life High School in Port. Please around the materials. Also a shout out to Deeper Life High School Aba. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Abeokuta. Also shout out to Deeper Life High School Abuja. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Ado-Ekiti. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Akure. Another shout out to Deeper Life High School Calabar. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Ibadan. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Ilorin. Another shout out to Deeper Life High School Jalingo. Also shout out to Deeper Life High School Kaduna. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Onitsha. Another shout out to Deeper Life High School Osogbo. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Owerri. Another shout out to Deeper Life High School Uyo. Shout out to Deeper Life High School Yenevua. Shout out to Deeper Life High School, Yola. Shout out to Deeper Life High School, Lafayette. Shout out to Deeper Life High School, Lagos. Shout out to Iba Housing Estate Senior School. And shout out to Ibadan Grammar School. We are so glad that you guys joined us, especially from all these different parts of the nation. Here from American Corner, you're saying we love you and stay connected as we continue with the debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have the closing team immediately. So who is speaking first?
Answer the first question. Self-care is helping a lot of students. But as a parent, do you trust your child with a phone? Some parents don't trust their child with a phone because they don't know what that child is doing with their phone. Most parents don't trust their child with phone. So how can you tell that AI is helping a lot of students? Because many parents can't even trust that child with that phone because they know the meaning of what that child can do. But how will they trust a child with a phone when AI is not even helping them? Because most of them, they meet a lot of friends on social media. But those friends aren't helping their future. Some of them will be discussing something that doesn't have any benefit to their academic or their future on social media. So how is AI helping them? AI is helping them meet a lot of people in the world, which is not giving them a lot of benefit in their life. And to the third question, she said that. Thank you.
You want us to repeat the question?
Okay, so you mentioned something about emotional. Why how AI is not emotional? So I'm asking you, you have not done anything, AI has not been able to do anything an emotional intelligence aspect at all. Or if you say yes, then why are you saying that? Because I know there's some existing ones. That's what I would say.
You said that some existing. Let's go to the aspect of it. The way a teacher is patient with the students, AI can't be patient with our students. So how is AI emotional? How does he have emotion when he doesn't have patience with the students? So AI doesn't have emotion. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a particular question directed to you. You can ask. If you also like to probably if you have a point to that question, you can also.
It said, I mentioned something about AI or computers destroying things when tasked with a project. I mentioned something about climate effect and also challenging our ecosystem as a side effect. We can definitely prevent that because what causes AI to destroy things is a glitch or errors in their algorithm or input data done by the scientists. If we can just run over those algorithms over and over again, then I'm sure we'll be able to prevent destruction by artificial intelligence. Thank you.
You have anything to add to the emotional question? The social question I can answer. If there was a question your team would not answer, we'll ask that again. And we can answer. Right?
As I said,
Are you listening?
You want to say something? You want to say something?
All right. So we'll be willing to take reactions from the audience. You can share your thoughts on the topic, either for or against. You can also ask questions, right? So debaters, you can listen for questions that the audience will ask. You are not required to answer them, but should you be willing to engage, that would be great, okay? All right, so I think we can start with those online. We have from Deeper Life High School, Lagos, Adeni Ramuso and Equitable, Tito Yugua. Can we hear you? Go ahead.
Yeah, they are muted already. So
Can you hear us? Can you speak? See if we can hear you. Unmute yourself and speak. Wait, we can hear you now. Just please do. Right. We can't hear you. I think we have a bad the microphone. So can you speak to the mic? Okay, so we cannot hear it, but you can type in your chat or you can try to speak without your mic. You just need to move closer to the system or to your microphone. Okay, so you can try move to your microphone and speak. If we can't still hear, then you can type in the chat and someone will take it here. Okay. All right, so we have Iba Housing Estate Senior School also willing to participate, and Ibadan Grammar School. So we can have either of those schools try. We can hear any of them. While you're getting ready, anyone from the audience here willing to engage? Great, 1, 2. All right, so anyone from that side?
yeah, someone.
Anyone?
You raise your hand.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be fine. Let's do those 5 and 6 in that order. So you will proceed to the stand and then make your points. If you have any questions to ask, you ask them. Please make it brief. 1 minute per student. Then, if you're willing to engage with any of those, just write them down. If there's any you're willing to engage, you come up after them. Please. So you can tell us your name and your school, and then you share your point on this stage. Thank you.
Please, let's see the screen.
My name is Ayomide, and I'm from Omotosho Senior Grammar School. There was one thing she said that parents don't have control on what being published their children. So AI has improved so much that they have in the settings you can see parental control or parental guidance. So I'm saying that, but
Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Khadija from Imperial. And one of the opponents talked about AI in the field of education, and I would love to counter that. So AI in the field of education has really made education a beautiful experience.
On enhanced online discussion boards have now been replaced with usual floor white classroom board. This has not only stimulated learning, but also driven students to become passionate about learning. Also, technologies like plagiarism detectors are now used to maintain integrity in learning. Isn't that amazing? Thank you.
I should down 400. Who is number 3? Who is 4?
Please, it not be all against. They should also have reactions straight to the balance. Not like everybody is pointing fingers at the against.
Good day, everyone. My name is Mara Malibola, and I'll be speaking for, so I'll be going against the opposing team. You mentioned something about self-driving cars having accidents, prone to accidents. Well, I believe AI has improved. So AI will be able to navigate properly by taking cues of the environment. Let's say, for example, if I want to get from here to Ikorodu, AI will be able to navigate and properly understand where you see accidents, where accidents are prone, where traffic is prone, and avoid those kind of areas. So AI is able to take cues from the environment to navigate to the direction or to its location and destination. Thank you.
Dependent on how it's changed.
Good day, everyone. I am Asubiojo Salary of the Heritage Global Academy in Ikorodu, Lagos, and I'm speaking for the motion that artificial intelligence is key for innovation in science and technology. When we discuss the topic of artificial intelligence, it is the simulation of human intelligence, and the opposing side mentioned the lack of emotion included, which Jamila countered with the fact that AI has been introduced to the emotional world with technology designed to influence it. But I think we're also neglecting the theme of our day today, women and girls. When we see how AI is biased, as the opposing side also mentioned, I cannot deny the fact that AI definitely has some bias introduced by men in STEM. So that's why it's very important for us to have women and girls in STEM to input data that will help us. For example, I'm not quite sure how to put this, but AI can be definitely biased in a negative way. There was an AI recently created that had a feature where it could detect the faces of people and determine the information from data they put online. But it did act negatively against women, as women are very susceptible to violence against them, and many countries that have femicide against women. And so I think for AI to be truly innovative in this field of science and technology, we need to use women and girls to create a safe world as well. Thank you so very much.
Number 5. So both of you get ready, you need to respond to any of it. Then you can also ask the I hope you're preparing some very.
Good day, everyone. My name is Diana from Marvel Business School. So one of the parents actually said that AI does not have emotions. Like AI have emotions. Some AI is still a fact. Some AIs are programmed to learn. And again, she said that AI can help cure cancer and Ebola. But the question is, what actually brought the cancer and Ebola? What brought life-threatening diseases to the nation? Was it not due to scientific researches that AI has made? And another question I would like to ask is, in the olden days, there were up to 10 people employed to guard the person's property. But nowadays, it's their main surveillance cameras that AI has made. Now, people have lost their job due to what AI has created. Some people are just sitting at home doing nothing because of what AI. Some are lazy because of what AI. AI actually made people to lose their jobs, and they have replaced them. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll take anyone online wants to try now. Try and speak without the microphone. Raise your hand so we recognize you. We ask you to unmute, then you can speak without the microphone.
They are not
after
reacting.
you.
You're free to react to it. Hello. You're free to respond to what. No, I mean for you to be ready.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zainab Akintunde from Equitable Academy, and I am very grateful to be here. So I'm going to be speaking for the motion which says artificial intelligence is key for innovation in science and technology. So when referencing the concept of programs based around STEM careers, it is quite impossible to realize that jobs today are going to be inevitably unworkable without the concept of artificial intelligence. This is a very important thing to mention, that with people that have the common consensus that science is going to change, it's inevitably going to change the world, then our world today won't be as prosperous as it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Moving back it up.
All right, so anyone online?
Your position says that artificial intelligence or artificial intelligence in smart cars cause harm or problem. But according to Tesla statistics, it states that 0.22% of car accidents happen with smart cars, while 0.77% happen with all human drivers. This shows that artificial intelligence is way safer with smart cars than with human drivers. Let's talk about how artificial intelligence on social media. Artificial intelligence is used on social media for many different reasons. For example, people think of social media and remove sexual harassment posts or comments from other people's comment section. Artificial intelligence will also remove pornographic videos from other kids section and will employ people to be safe on the internet. It can also prevent and stop against predators and fake accounts that will try to harm kids on social media. Think about artificial intelligence and not be patient enough to teach it out. But when we develop such an advanced software, it will create that kind of patience. Artificial intelligence will be able to feel the emotion, feel by recognizing our facial recognition, to see that this person is not feeling particularly happy or that by this particular. About artificial intelligence having bias. This artificial intelligence just not bias. It's called NLP, machine learning bias. But we already have a smart woman, an independent woman already on this. Her name is Oyewusi. She's the CEO and founder of the Justice in Society. She's not the problem in the gender, she's not the gender and racial problem in the facial recognition embedded into our iPhones now. And that was what brought out to our journey. Starts to become justice under the week. In a matter of time, we can bring in this problem. Artificial intelligence is the problem, not artificial intelligence. About unemployment, artificial intelligence will substitute jobs necessarily have people. For example, why want children to go and be minded on that? When you can just use a machine, it will save lives. Talk about artificial intelligence manufacturing atomic bombs. Do you know what that human beings do that? Put themselves in danger in those factories, burning the gases, applying it in their body. Think what that allows them to die. And this is what human artificial intelligence does. Artificial intelligence have caused problems to understand that, especially in the nuclear field, but it's also killing them. Do you know that in the UK, where atomic waste is, human beings cannot go there? Artificial intelligence is what's cleaning it up to reduce that. Artificial intelligence in our education can also be like this. Let's say I'm reading notebooks. Notebooks are made of what? Trees. Trees come from made of what? Paper. Paper comes from trees. Substituting that with your iPhone and tablet would be amazing and to help us with our global change and our global warming that we are currently suffering from. Intelligence has already been us forward. So why go backwards?
All right. Good as you know. All right, so opposing team, any reaction?
Let me make references to the first question. She said in artificial AI, we can use parental control. But most of us here are much more smarter than our parents. You can actually manipulate it. Most of us here, don't tell me that you're not smarter than your parents. You can actually manipulate it. And now, she made references to sexual videos and sort of this. The creation of sex robots and sex machines increase immorality in the society. Nowadays, people get intimate with AI. That is the aspect of sex work. So how do we tell that artificial intelligence has actually increased immorality in society? It has actually increased it. So you can't tell me that the creation of sex robots and sex machines is to reduce immorality in the society. But no, it actually increased it.
Directed
But the only puts at risk the union of man and woman, not the union of sex dog and woman, or sex or women and sex dogs. Now she made references to health. Artificial intelligence also leads to machine dependencies and causing obesity and intellectual laziness, as robots got all the jobs and chores in the household, therefore increasing health risks. The three major points in life is you eat well, you sleep, and maintain hygiene. But now, artificial intelligence has caused obesity and intellectual laziness because we no longer rely on our own intelligence. We no longer rely on our own mindset, on our own study, or rely on that of the AI. We rely on that of the artificial intelligence. So how can you tell me that you can increase the innovation to science and technology? Intelligence leads to less human interaction, to therefore making us lose humanity. Now, at this point, artificial intelligence is key of innovation in science and technology. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll have the team speaking for ask one question to the team speaking, right? And then the team speaking again to do the same. So either of them, ready to have it. Those online trying. Yeah, ready. Okay, who is ready online? People Live High School, Lagos, People Community Senior School, and Ibadan Grammar School. Can you move closer to your system, speak without using microphone, and we'll let you know if you can hear you. Unmute yourself. Are they unmuted? Speak. You can speak now, please. We cannot hear you. I think you are far from the laptop. Are you using a laptop? Please move close to it and you can speak. We're reading. Can you try now? Are they on? Okay, try speaking, see if we can hear you.
She's speaking, but we can't hear her.
We cannot hear you.
Are they sure they are connected to the microphone of the laptop, or they have another device that they are recording from?
You can type it.
We can't hear you with that mic. Do a sound check. We can't hear you from that mic.
That's the one we tried. About grammar school and about housing estates in your school. Are you ready with your question? Are you ready? From you have 30 more seconds. After the correspondence,
I think if I housing,
just like
if I housing, are you ready with your question? We can't hear you because you are muted. If a housing is this in your secondary school, we can't hear you.
Okay, now we have your questions. We can't hear those online. You can type in the chat. We can read it out. Okay, so is team speaking for? Would you like to come ask your question right now? Thank you.
Question is based on, my question is based on what my opponent said. It was like it can't save time and effort. So without, I want to ask, without artificial intelligence, how can we save our time and effort? How can we save it? Okay, if you know that in Spain last year, we lost over 699 lives. Like, how can we save time and effort? Let me just say, for example, now in business, without artificial intelligence, how can we just like save time and effort in business, mostly business? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That question. You ask them. No, you can ask. You want to ask them, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. My opponents, how are we so sure that one day AI will not just turn on us and take control? Since now everything we do, we need AI, right? How are we so sure it's not going to take over?
Okay, now muted it. Hello. 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 Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you.
Hello. Let me see. Can you hear me? Speak to me.
Can you hear me?
From which school, please?
Yes. Please. Can you hear me? Because campus.
Can hear you now.
One person at
Steve Poliak said, and I quote, "Before we work on artificial intelligence, why don't we do something about natural stupidity?" Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Adena Armstrong Pekulia, and I'm here as a representative from the Imperial Vice School to oppose the notion which states artificial intelligence is key to innovation in science and technology. I won't bore you with the definition or history of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence lacks creativity. It lacks the ability to think outside the box. No wonder Jim Baudrillard said that the sad thing about artificial intelligence is that it lacks artifice and therefore intelligence. Bill Gates said humans should be worried about the threats posed by artificial intelligence. This is the concept of singularity. Singularity is an hypothetical future in which the growth of technology is out of control and irreversible. The was a term coined by John von Neumann, which was a major figure in the history of computer science. Imagine a runaway reaction in which artificial intelligence manages to improve itself, and the improved self continues to improve itself. With each improvement, the rate at which improvement occurs increases, and finally, humans will not be able to compete. Artificial intelligence leads to unemployment. Within the year 2020 and 2025, according to research, 85 million jobs will be lost to AI automation. And although artificial intelligence is going to create 97 million new jobs, not all the employees will be able to go with the flow, leaving only the big tech companies to be able to operate at that age. I hope with these points of mine, you are on my side to believe that artificial intelligence is not key to innovation in science and technology, but human intelligence. And that is where the cookie crumbles. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So come back to the room and have the responses to the questions I want to ask.
What happens now?
All right. So great.
Come on, take over. Free boss. True. So I cannot just come and say, that was becoming a new leader. Because we can't just come it off. Now, we spoke about how AI will make human intelligence back. But isn't it human beings that make AI? If we think that's much and that part, we have to create such enormous and astounding devices. So how is our intelligence being diminished? If we are that creative. Talk about sex robots and pornographic content. Now, those sex robots, I'm sure that those sex robots will not be sold to people under the age of 18. And they will also have to go through a license process. And sex robots are not even that commercialized that day. Something that was just being introduced. And you can easily counter against this within ethics in AI. So for me, I don't think that these points really hold in my stand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Sophia is going on Zoom. That's Sophia on Zoom.
It's bottom life for metaverse.
All right. So take your opposing team. Are you ready? Hello. 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 Are you ready to respond to me? Thank you very much. So what's your question?
Question say, how can we save time and effort mostly in business? But in the olden days, time and effort will actually stay in business because there's division of labor. There's actually division of labor, so time and effort actually stay. And remember what you said, you said, AI cannot actually turn it back on us because we use our own human brain to create AI. That's you're actually saying that you actually support what I'm saying because it's with our own intelligence, it's what we include into AI. That's what is that. So it's due to our own intelligence, due to our own human intelligence. That's what AI is. And right now, most of us don't have control over AI because most of the AI can actually answer your text message without you getting to see. Most of them will see your text message before you even see. So how will you tell me that we can control AI if it's all back like those? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, to round up this debate, we'll have each of the debaters come up and give a closing presentation, a minute. We started with an opening, now you have a closing, 1 minute each, and then we'll round it up. 1 minute per speaker. So you have a minute. You have a minute. Are you ready? So you have just the same way you gave the opening. Jamila, then followed by Theophilus, then Joseph and Aduba. Now that. Welcome.
Artificial intelligence is no longer the technology of the future. It is something that we are currently living alongside. And with technological advancement, we are living and breathing artificial intelligence. For us to break new grounds and unsurmountable barriers, I want you to acknowledge the fact that artificial intelligence is key for the innovation in science and technology. Artificial intelligence has impacted the world in so many ways. For example, production. Do you want to compare division of labor to how fast AI can do this? An AI can read almost 100 papers in 1 minute. Even if we speak in paper, we will not be able to still achieve that. Artificial intelligence has taken us forward beyond bounds that we ever imagined. In the olden days, if someone played them a video of people using laptops, interactive boards, people just say this in science fiction, something that will never come to reality. Look at the world we're living in right now. Everyone has their phones. Recording the power of artificial intelligence. Thank you so much.
Today, the amount of data that's generated by both humans and machines. Today, the amount of data that is generated by both humans and machines far outspaces the human's ability to interpret, absorb, and make complex decisions based on that data. Artificial intelligence forms the basis to all computer learning and is the future of all complex decision making. To sum it up, artificial intelligence looks all set to be the future of the world. Thank you very much.
When artificial intelligence develops destructive methods to accomplish its goals, what can we do to really solve? Apart from fixing the glitches, when the deed has already been done, what can we do to really like curb it? What can we do to stop all the damages from being done? We can't just let artificial intelligence take over us. Humans, I get that it is our intelligence we use to create AI, but we also have to be more innovative than just letting computers do things for us. Thank you very much.
In the area of science, artificial intelligence has actually caused many people to lose their life because you can't compare a woman who based on fresh food and the one who based on artificial intelligence food. You can't base their own lifespan together. And we all need to be alerted that artificial intelligence is the key of innovation in science and technology because of the negative cost to humans. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is exceptional. Can we give you a round of applause? Thank you very much. At this point, we confer to decide the winning teams and speakers. This is for everyone. But then we just like to do the announcement, okay? So proceed to that. Confidence.
Please, we encourage the online participants to be connected with us. As the judges are working on the results of the debate, and the time to announce the results and the winners. So, bring your indulgence to stay connected, don't be distracted, and don't try to die like they were saying. And just as a side comment, I think personally the debate has been very interesting and engaging, and show greater percentage of us connected virtually. Who's physically here can see the same. We can see the debaters came quite prepared from different schools, and you can see parts of words, parts of knowledge, and I believe that at the moment, some persons might be feeling tense as they are very concerned on who will be announced the winner. And you know, there are different metrics of measurements being used by the judges to decide who would emerge as the winner, which might be different from what your personal instincts might be telling you right now. And I want to assure you that we have capable judges and we trust them for credible results. We have professionals in the field. I believe we're here when their profiles being read out to all of us here in the room, and even to those connected virtually. And we have high-profile individuals here, doctors in the field of AI, and people in the professional industry doing amazing things already in STEM, in computer engineering, and in artificial intelligence as well. So we are hopeful that they are bringing out a result that will definitely trust and accept to be true against all odds. So, dear virtual participants, once again, we appreciate your patience. I'm so glad here at American Corner to have you all join us virtually from different parts of the country. We have schools joining from Port Harcourt, from Jalingo, from Abuja, from Onitsha, from Osogbo, from Aba, from Lagos, from Ibadan, from Ilorin, from Calabar. We also have schools joining from Ado-Ekiti. I've already done a shout out to the different schools, as well. I'm not mentioning their names again, but I'm recognizing the locations once again because it shows that this is truly to a large extent this national event. And we appreciate the American Corner Education and the United States Consulate here in Nigeria, Lagos to be precise, for hosting such a great event amongst secondary school girls. Okay, signal reaching me right now is that the judges are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very moment we've been waiting for. And with all due pleasure, I will be returning the mic back to Mr. Chairman, who would proceed to give the judges a time to announce the winner of this debate. Once again, it's been an engaging debate. So thank you, everyone. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. I won't be doing the announcement. Judges will, because they actually judgment. Okay. So Dr. Chika Yinka-Banjo will give a feedback on all the done today and on the arguments that we've heard. Then Mrs. Moyo Asubiojo would announce the winners and the winning team. Why we present kings. Okay. So
Thank you so much, Nelson. Thank you so much for this. I'm very well impressed from what I've seen today. I'm blown away because a lot of us are well informed. But I want to actually thank the two teams. In fact, there's no winning team, if you ask me, because it's already obvious that AI, which is a concept and a field, is doing a lot. So there are different compartments of AI. Please, I want to correct something before I continue. Just look at this shelf. Just take it like this whole shelf is AI. And each of the compartments has its own function. So we have robotics. Robotics is one aspect of AI. But most of you have been talking about Sophia. Sophia is just AI. No, Sophia is under robotics. Then we have what we call natural language processing that helps us to take develop emotions, where you can do sentiment analysis. So you can develop emotions, and that's a part of AI. We have the one we talk about, the AV, that is where you do AVR, where you have augmented reality. You can wear something and watch things, learn in technology, learn any subject. AI has been developed. That aspect is called augmented reality. There are different components of AI. So let us not just change AI and turn it into self-driving cars. Self-driving cars are under robotics. So AI, just like we were using typewriter before and everybody has moved to computer. Now we are moving to AI, but AI has different components. You develop your strength in the one you can do. So, and how does it help us in innovation? You know, that's the question here. Innovation is science and tech. But I noticed that both teams were giving us the functions, the uses of AI. We've been using AI in this, we have been using it in that. That's what we have been saying, which is good. But I know that with time, as we grow in this field, we move step ahead to know what helps you in the innovation. What is innovation? What can you, it comes from your creative mind that for you to develop something and show it. People have done that in health. People have done that in different fields of life. in economics, in education, people have developed stuff that will help us to better that area. So saying that AI will do more harm, yes, I like what Jamaica said. She said we designed it. Ethics, there's something called ethics. AI has moved from being artificial intelligence to has moved to responsible AI. So all the research going on now is called what? Responsible AI, responsible artificial intelligence. Why did they put that responsible? Ethics will come in, policies will come in. So when you're developing it, if something happens, who do we hold responsible? Laws are going to be in place. So that's why that particular aspect of destruction will be taken care of. So when you're talking about AI, remember there are different components. So which part is doing what, and which one can you use to contribute to the sector you're working in? Now look at your environment. How can you use AI? You know, go and choose. Will I use augmented reality? Will I use robotics? Will I use will I use natural language processing? There are a lot, but the underlying principle there is machine learning techniques. Machine learning is that the methods that you use to develop all of this. So all this way I was saying AI, let's change the concept you are using and know that what takes care of what you're dealing with is called machine learning algorithms. So it's how you develop it, how you tweak it, is how it's going to function for you. So I want to thank the two teams. Let me not talk too much because this is my area. If I want to thank the two teams for the powerful thing you've done, at least this is a step to a higher level. So thank you so much for educating us and also take corrections.
Okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, to announce the winners of today's debate. It's been a great session, and each and every one of you, like my other colleague said, you did fantastically well. There is no winner, you are all winners, irrespective of whoever it is that comes forth from whichever team. We decided that actually, irrespective of whichever team we decided that comes forth today, like I said, you all done fantastically well. So I'm going to be starting from the person that came forth in this presentation today, and that's in the person of Adoba Emmanuel from the presentation was good. I don't want to feel bad that you came forth. You've also done excellently well. But one of the feedback when you're doing debate is always advisable. You stick out your points instead of reading from your book, okay? Just stick out your points and talk about what you want to talk about. You've done so well. Well done. Okay, and in the third place, the person that came the third place in this debate is we have Theophilus King from Omotosho. Well, you were a bit timid, you were a bit, you were not really expressing maybe yourself properly, but of course you did so well. You were very sound, you did your research, your points were good. But in cases like this, just try to ensure that you're very confident in what you're saying. Okay, well done. And the second position for this debate today is Joseph Opeyemi from Campaign. Okay, presentation, you also did excellently well, and we hope that you also do more research so that you can actually come out exceptional to further debates. Well done. And for the final. In the second of Jamila Babalala. Have done, that imbibe the knowledge in the school as well. We could see even from the other members of the school that actually came out, to give their own debates, big contribution. You guys did excellently well, and Jamila.
I think it's standing like you prevent
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very much. That was a very credible result from noble judges. I believe we all agree and accept that result as the winners as announced by the judges. A round of applause once again for our judges. Trying to judge for such smart contributions from each of the participants. So at this juncture, I will be handing over to, remember I told you earlier that I have a co-moderator at the time we started, in a person of Ms. Esther, who is joining us virtually. So we are not done with the day's event yet, just the event that rather we still have speakers that have some things to tell us. And I want to hand over to my co-moderator at this juncture, Ms. Esther, who is joining online to introduce the other speakers, and according to the program agenda, to give us the interesting content they have for us. So, Ms. Esther, are you with us?
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Esther. You have the floor.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I trust this has been a very awesome program to us all. Me personally, I've learned a lot, and I'm sure that everyone here too has one or two things to pick from this program as it is going on. So we are back to our speakers. We shall have two speakers coming to give us some ideas and knowledge about the old tech world. For any of us that might have questions or unclear areas about technology, we've heard so much about how the world is going into technology, and then we have some questions. Okay, we have some gray areas where we are not clear on. So we have these speakers that will just come and explain some basic things to us about this old technology stuff. Our first speaker is Wuraola Oyewusi, and I will read our citation. Wuraola is a pharmacist and data scientist, a passionate professional committed to advancing artificial intelligence practice. She's currently a researcher, data science and data curation at Imperial College London, and previously led research and innovation at Data Science Nigeria. Her research interest is in natural language processing, and she has also been in the forefront of the unstructured data application and open source access, especially in the area of health and language. She is the author of the Hand-on Natural Language Processing and Advanced AI, NLP Techniques for Clinical Data Sets on LinkedIn Learning, contributed to the AI in Medicine textbook by Springer. So with clapping hands, can we introduce Ms. Wuraola Oyewusi to give us her speech.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can. We can see your screen, ma.
Thank you, Esther. Good afternoon, everyone. From my experience being in secondary school, that was a while ago. I'm sure there are different types of people here. Those who have not slept well because they were preparing for debate. Those people that they don't want to be at the debate, but the teachers or their parents ask them that they have to come. Those people that woke up early to be in Lagos traffic. The people that just want to go home and eat. The people that are just tired of being on screen. I've seen people on screen just trying to be careful. You don't want the camera in your face. It's nice to meet you all. And of course, the organizers, it's quite tedious to plan events like these, and everyone who has participated in this event. That was a nice discussion. It's nice you're talking about things like this. It's important. Of course, the debate judges, they've shared perspective, and I thought that was interesting. My name is Wuraola Oyewusi. And okay, so we're going to start like this. I hope I have your attention. So my education, just like you, I went to Federal Government Girls College in Moyo. I graduated. Okay, I think it's a valedictory service we used to do. I don't know if it's still like that, but that's what we used to call it. I think that was 2007. I studied pharmacy at Banjo University. And then for my professional history, it may be interesting to you that I began my career as a pharmacist, and now I do data science. I've worked in a range of places. My post-pharmacy school internship was at National Orthopedic Hospital at Igbobi. After that, I served in Cross River. I've been quite all over Nigeria at the General Hospital in Ugep. And then I was with eHealth Africa in Kano, then Data Science Nigeria, and then Imperial College London. Generally, my life outlook, maybe we'll talk about that as we're running this discussion. So again, I've introduced myself. And okay, so to start our discussion, I'm going to talk about my work, what I do at work. Like I said, I'm a lead data scientist on the research team at the Imperial College London, transitioning out of that role. So that's like a previous role. But one of the ways that we apply artificial intelligence, I'm going to make it as simple as possible. We have a big body of text data, like think of them as scientific publication about cancer. And our work, our research is focused on if there's a question that is related to cancer, which of that database, think millions of scientific publication of about cancer, which of them answers that question? So it looks like a search engine, but the type of answer that our team is looking for is contextual answer. That means that that's one of the ways you use natural language processing. I'm sure if you are thinking of it in your own method, if I say, why do I have malaria? If you are thinking of it in your method, you probably ask your system to bring everything related to malaria, any text that they mentioned malaria. But for example, what if the document that answers your question best did not even directly mention malaria, but maybe it's talking about anti-malaria, some of the symptoms of malaria? Our work is, one of our research questions is that we want that document to be up. And it's one of the interesting ways that artificial intelligence, especially natural language processing. Natural language processing is the subset of AI that deals with text data, the things that you write, and spoken data, the things that you talk about. My work is focused on text. So now that we have this text, computers are not magic. They can't answer questions like you. How do we calculate there's a lot of math and machine learning. How do we put the machine learning algorithm to answer questions like this? And I'll tell you something about machine learning, what makes it interesting and what makes it different from other types of algorithms. Typically, when a child is born, if you show the child a green apple, the next time, at least for a child that is going through normal developmental phases, if the child sees an apple that is not red, that is green, the child will still be able to figure out that this is an apple, even though that child has not seen that color of apple before, but you just know that this thing is also apple. To get computer to learn patterns like that is quite difficult, and that's what makes machine learning algorithms interesting. So for example, if you were designing a system that is not based on machine learning, you will need to present to that computer like algorithm, there are different types of apples in the world, and I am showing you all of them now. You have to be able to figure out that this is an apple. But the interesting thing about machine learning algorithms and the noise about them is that rather than feed them all the ways they should think about things, you present your question and answers, and it figures out the math that connects them. That it's like if something is round or I don't know the shape of apple, but if something is this shape and if you bite into it and it feels like this, then it's possibly an apple. And that's what makes machine learning very interesting. Yeah, okay. Maybe if you have questions, you can ask in the chat window, but that's the difference between machine learning and normal algorithms, because, you know, people have been computing, people have done interesting work, women have done interesting work. You know, it's popular that some of the first people who were writing computer programs were women. So people have been doing interesting work, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so I've shared my education, professional history. I've given you an idea of what I do at work, my general life outlook. Okay, maybe we can go there now. As you're growing up, there are things that will change. For example, in the next 4 years, some of your friends that are in class together, some people will be out of the country, some people have gone to the university in the north. Some people, you know, some people can say after school, they're taking a year break. You're just all gonna go in different directions. Some people think they are going to be doctors, and then maybe the admission system is not favorable in where they are going to. You know, it could change. There are several things that's changed. For example, roles at work. Like I mentioned before, I was a pharmacist, a clinical pharmacist, and I had an amazing time at it. So there was a time that people that knew me, people that we went to school together, for example, they knew me as a pharmacist. I had patients, I had doctor colleagues, people that we went to medical school together. They knew me as a pharmacist, but now 8 years later, I have an entirely different life, and I'm still having a great time. So that role has changed. Titles change. I think it fits in that context too. You could be a pharmacist. For example, at home, I'm the last child of 5. I've managed teams. I'm a manager. Like outside, I've managed people. At home, I'm possibly just my siblings. My first brother, my siblings, they still say they are baby sister, even though I'm many people's manager. So titles change, and then your context changes. I gave you a story about how I started my career as a clinical pharmacist, but now I'm a data scientist doing research. The interesting thing about my exposure to machine learning and my exposure to research is that some of the most important things I know about research was in pharmacy school. Maybe 40% of the time I spent in pharmacy school was spent in the lab. So I'm well grounded in, you know, hands-on methodologies, like we are testing stuff. It's just that previously it used to be chemicals. We want to synthesize paracetamol. This is how you do it. You want to synthesize aspirin. This is how you do it. It's just now the context of my research has changed. Now I'm thinking, which algorithm answers our question? Why is it slow? How do we gauge the accuracy of this? You know, so somehow I have skill in research, and now we're doing it in another place. And another thing about context that changes, one of the reasons I qualified for my role at Imperial is because I'm a data scientist who has a great understanding of clinical data. It's purely clinical and scientific. I just know what it means. I know what the diseases mean. I know what the biomarker means. So it's still me, but then the context has changed. Tools change. For example, when I was your age, there were different types of mobile devices. The internet was not this accessible. You know, it existed, but it wasn't this accessible. You know, there were things that we used, maybe it had to be in the library, maybe it had to do things like that, but tools change. You know, before the phones that we used, they were not taking high quality images. Now there are certain devices that when they take images, it feels like the camera itself. So all those things, they will change. Opportunities change. Like I mentioned, in the next 4 years, your lives will be in different directions. Some of you will happen to be in the same school, but different courses. Some people who are friends now will probably not be friends. Some people who are not friends now could be friends. Opportunities also change. For example, I moved to the UK as a global talent in AI and machine learning. That opportunity may not have been open to me if I didn't transition careers. So opportunities change as you're growing up, you know. And then, of course, location changes. I moved about 2 years ago. So if you've known me all my life, you probably know me in Nigeria, in the places I've lived. Now I have more people here. I have more different colleagues, you know, all those things, they change, and they are probably going to be the same for you. That means that you will have some plans that will not exactly pan out exactly like you're looking at it. But it's annoying, but that's like, these are some of the things that they change, you know, they change, and it's annoying again, but then, and then it's both annoying and exciting. You know, sometimes you may not be having the best of time at some of the things maybe that you have had to learn now, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have the best of time in other things that you explore. So that's the good thing about the things that change. Okay. So there are things that do not change, and they don't change. And there are things you should pay attention to as people. The number one thing for me is curiosity. It's curiosity, you know, asking the right questions, not being the curiosity I'm referring to here is not you know, random gossip, or you know, just asking questions to enrich your souls for knowledge. For example, when I decided to transition careers, it's not like, for example, I had a laptop in school, but I never thought that I was that tech person. Because I was in pharmacy, I was having a nice time, and then my concept of tech, then I don't think I was great with maybe colors to combine for websites and things like that. They were not just in my conversation. The time I decided that I was gonna give data science a shot, I was reading job descriptions. And then I felt like I read a particular job description. It's for a data analyst. And I felt like everything on this list I can do. In fact, everything on this list, I've been doing it. The name is different, but as a pharmacist, I've been forecasting. I've been looking at the supply chain. I've been looking like our patients, they are going to do this, they are going to do that. And then this time around, they say maybe there's a business, there's a research team, and they want to do something similar. I said the name may be different, but I was curious to find out about that. And that was how I enrolled for my online course. And then I just stayed there until I you know, became whatever I want to become. And then the second one is mastery. It is important that at the place of your work, at what you do, it is important that you are great at it. Mastery is not Topper scored 50. Okay, Topper scored 80. Me have scored 90. I'm greater than Topper kind of a thing. Mastery does not give you opportunity for petty competition. Mastery is, for example, at what I do, I am great at it. I don't have all the answers at what I do, but I've been trusted by teams upon teams, and people have collaborated with that. If we need to do more research, we'll do more research. But it is known that Wuraola, at what she does, she's great at it. And that's something I want you to own. It is gender agnostic. It's not like, oh, it's not like the things that you're great at is not like, oh, just because you're a girl. No. When they're mentioning the things you decide to do after school now, when they're mentioning those things, the first thought about you is that girl, she's a master at what she does. And I encourage you to own it because you don't have anything to lose by owning your mastery. So these are the things I want you to obsess about: curiosity, mastery, so that whatever you want to do, they know that girl, she understands how she's thinking about this. She has studied about this. The things that she did not know, she did not try to cover it up. She went further to find better answers, and she's good at it. She can be trusted. Exposure. Exposure is, I like the fact that we are having this conversation about AI and stuff like that. It's okay if this is not the life pattern that you have chosen. You know, it may be tempting that everybody is doing this, but you know, exposure to new knowledge, you know, it's the place where people decide their edge in life. It is true that not everybody will have the same amount of success, you know, except you're lying. Not everybody is going to have that, but by the things people are exposed to. For example, it's interesting you're having this conversation about AI. You know, the debates, people came out, they shared their perspective. You know, it's amazing. That means people, at least you know it exists, and you can look at things like that. These are the things that give people the edge in life. The people who are curious, people who are masters in what they do, that can be trusted, that they will find out, that can be trusted, that, you know, they're not going to try to cut the corner, that they are great at what they do. They are exposed, they're exposed to new knowledge. They are not stuck in their way. They are not like, this is how I used to do my thing, and I will never, ever change. You know, openness to new knowledge, to new perspective. You are not stuck in your way. There are things that you should be stuck on, things like integrity, knowing that you can be trusted. You know, things like dependable. This person is dependable. Loyalty to the right cause, not evil. You know, those things you can stay stuck on them. But openness, you know, for example, they're talking about AI. I understand that you may be bored and stuff like that, but it's okay to read up about it. Like, okay, this is how this thing works. You know, at least even if you're not going deep down into it, it's good to be open. Then iteration. Iteration is an element of practice. I don't have a lot of popular talent. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't draw. If you give me ruler, I probably won't make a straight line, but I'm great at practice. I'm very patient, you know, sometimes annoyingly patient. So let's say I'm about to learn a concept. For example, when I was transitioning careers, I was already 26. I'm 31 now. I was already 26, and I was already a pharmacist. I was leading the pharmacy team. So I wasn't coming from like a bad place. I was enjoying myself, and that was the first time I was learning how to program. That was the first time I was learning how to, you know, do machine learning, linear algebra. I was, you know, I was exposed to a whole lot of new knowledge. It was, I went all in because of course I was learning online and stuff like that, but you know, I was living, but I was iterating. I'm very patient. I don't take failures personal. So that means that if I'm coding for the first time, I'm not saying because I got an error message, I'm not going to try again. No, I'm not like that. I'm very good at iteration. If I'm mastering a skill, I'm just quietly there. I don't take things that have not gone well as a moral failure, like because I understand, for example, some people are faster at math, some people can speak better, but iteration can change things for you, at least the baseline, like practice. This approach, I don't think this perspective is good. Let me try a new approach. Let me try a new textbook. I think this textbook is a bit difficult. Can I look for something simpler? That's how you build. That's how you practice. Practice changes things. You've looked at something, this is how tidy things are done, and then you want to do something like that. You must commit to iteration and practice, doing it step by step until you are great at it. And then the 16 transferable skills, they don't change. Like I told you, many of the things I know about research writing, they are not when I transitioned career to AI research and data science and stuff. It's been since I was a pharmacist because we spent a lot of time in the lab. We spent a lot of time experimenting. So there are skills that you can also transfer. You can write well. That means you've practiced how to write well. For example, my very first job in data science, the job offer came because I wrote an article, and then someone found it that your perspective that you're sharing is the type of work that we're trying to do. If I didn't attempt to write and put it out there, I wouldn't have known the value on that work. But when I was writing, I just felt I've benefited so much online. I understand this perspective. Let me share with the next person. But I had been writing in beats for a very long time. I remember when I was in even the secondary school, we used to have this editorial club, and then I was part of it. We used to write articles, just the way some of you are already trying some of these things. They usually add up, and they are interesting things to do with your life. So I think we've had about 20 minutes, and personally, I'm big on you being curious and being a master in your field. It changes your world, it changes the type of things that you can aspire to. It changes there are disrespectful things that happen, but it changes because when it comes to the place of mastery, knowing that this person, they know exactly what they are saying, they have practiced at their craft, they they are putting the work. It changes the type of things that you can reach to, and I want you to reach to those things because the internet, I think, is one of the most fascinating things. There's no gates. For example, if you decided, I want to know this web design thing that they are talking about, if you spend if you spend 2 hours daily in the next 2 or 3 months, you are going to learn those things. Following instructions. This one did not work. Let me look at this website. Let me try this. Let me experiment this. And that's what the internet does for you. It brings down the entire barrier, and it's an amazing thing that you have to be part of. So, okay. In summary, I shared about myself, about my work as a pharmacist and a data scientist. I believe I shared about the schools that I went to, the type of work that I have done. I shared about the things that change, and they change often. Some of them will not go exactly like you planned. Some of them are good for you, the things that change. Some of them are simply annoying, and it's just part of growing up. And then these things that do not change. I want to encourage you to be curious, to be masters at your field, to be open to new knowledge, to things that are, I'm going to use the word edifying, because that's where it happens, things that are, be open to them, new knowledge. I want you to be skilled in practice. I don't want you to be those people who, I'm bored. This thing feels a bit difficult. Do you want to give it another shot? Do you want to try another approach? Don't be those people that have stereotyped themselves that that thing is that I can never know it. I can never do it, and life is just generally enjoyable. When there's mastery, when there are options, to deliver your skill in places where you are paid for them, it's important that you can earn well. Money is not evil. Money gives you options. and you want to earn the type of money that, you know, there's dignity, there's honor. It changes the way you relate with the world. You can buy the basics, you can be a good friend, you can be a good, you know, you can be a good spouse, you can be a good child, you know. So I hope you reach for these things, and I encourage you to have such an amazing time at it, because it's pretty cool. So nice to meet you all. If you have questions, you can ask in the chat window, or yeah. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen. So if you have questions, and I don't know the time now, but I don't know the time that I have left, but if we have few questions within the 20 minutes, I think I can take them. Nice to meet you all.
Hello, everyone. Ma, that was a beautiful presentation. That was very beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma. So please, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, can we just drop it in the chat box? It's going to be attended to. So I took some key things from what she said. She talked about how she was a pharmacist before she became a data scientist. And, you know, it kind of gave me the knowledge that one should not constrict themselves. You can be anything that you want to be. You cannot say that, okay, I'm sorry, so one should not constrict themselves. You can be anything that you want to be. So don't just say that, okay, this is the field I'm good at, if you have not tried other fields. So I actually like the transitions. That means in life, you can actually be anything you want to be. You can transition to be anything you want to be. So I feel like that's a key factor that many of us should take home. Also, she talked about being great at what she does. And I think I liked that, the self-confidence. Nobody will push you more than yourself. So you have to be confident in your abilities. And then she didn't just say she's great at what she does because she feels like saying it. It's because of the experiences. She has results to show for that. So I learned curiosity, I learned mastery, that, okay, for you to be expert in your field, to be an expert in your field, then you have to be very curious. You have to want to know more, and then you have to have mastery of the basic things that you need to have in your field. So thank you very much, Ma, for the presentation. Thank you so much. And you have a beautiful smile, Ma. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you have comments and questions, we can just drop it in the chat box. Yeah. So let's move to the next speaker. That is Dr. Ayomide. The next speaker, Dr. Ayomide, leading our citation. Dr. Ayomide is a security engineer at Google. She's a PhD graduate of the Binghamton University in the area of computer security. She got a bachelor's and master's degree from the University of Ibadan in 2012 and 2015, respectively. During her undergraduate years, she was on the Faculty of Science Dean's Roll of Honor 3 times. She graduated as the best student in her department and emerged Best Programmer of the Year. She was also a scholar of the Etisalat Merit Scholarship Award. In the Nigerian Programming Contest 2011, her team emerged second out of over 30 teams. She had a distinction in her master's and proceeded to USA afterwards for her PhD. During her PhD, she was a 2-time scholar of the Grace Hopper Celebration Scholarship and interned with Google 2 different times. She's happily married with a kid. So with clappings, can we invite Dr. Ayomide to the platform to share with us our wealth of knowledge? And I'm so happy that we have such great speakers in our midst that can motivate us. If they can do this, if they can achieve this, then we can also achieve the same things and even achieve more. So with ovation, can we welcome Dr. Ayomide to the platform? We'd like to have you now, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for the introduction, and This has been an amazing time. I really enjoyed the debates, and you guys did so much research. And, I'm really glad that at this time, you are all secondary school students and already you know so much. And, I'm really glad about the judges. Like, it's really huge to see people that are already established in the industry, lecturers coming out to support young girls, young women, and like setting the pace for the future. So I'm really encouraged by that, and I hope that there will be much more of this in this space. So I'm going to share my screen. I hope I can do that. Okay, I need the host to let me share my screen, please. I still cannot share. Okay, I hope someone let me share. Okay.
Right now.
Okay, I can share now. Thank you so much. All right, one moment, please. Okay. Can everyone see my screen, please?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to try to move it over here. Can you still see my screen clearly? All right,
Yep.
thank you. Yeah, all right. In case you see me looking at this side, my screen is on this side, and I want to be able to see everyone. So I'm Ayomide Nakarako, like I've been introduced, and I work as a security engineer at Google. And I have two main tasks to carry out here, because the people who took the debate already said so much, and the participants said so much. The judges already clarified some things that I had in mind. So I'm not going to spend too much time trying to do all of that. So my main target, because I'm really glad about this opportunity to speak with young girls and hopefully try to help them shape their decisions, or help to guide them, or even make it easier for them to make the decision as to what to do in the future. So I want to let you know that there is a place for you in tech, in fact, in whatever career you choose. And so that's the first thing, and that's like my main focus here today. And the second thing is to hopefully help you see some different areas in tech that you can venture in. And I'm not going to dwell too much on that, and just a very few points, because I'm pretty mindful of the time. And I believe, yeah, like Wuraola said, some of you are already hungry. So I'm aware of that. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. So first, I wanted to, I don't know, I'm sure you don't have to unmute, but I wanted to say to yourself, I have what it takes to thrive in whatever field I choose. Can you say it to yourself? I can see your mouth move, so you can just say to yourself, I have what it takes to thrive in whatever field I choose. Can you say that? I want to see mouths. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. And this is the truth. And I want to drive that in by sharing a story. So a story of how I transitioned from being a secondary school girl to studying computer science. And I'm just going to keep it short. I would not move on to how I eventually started working at Google, because Wuraola already shared so much about that. It's actually like almost similar pathway for most people. So I want to share the story of how I moved from being a secondary school girl, like every one of you, to studying computer science. So I'm sure very soon, I believe some of you may have written JAM, and I believe it's almost time for WAEC for those in SS3. So it was time to write JAM, and that year I was really confused as to what to study because I was a science student, like I believe most people here are in sciences, and I was confused because I was a pretty decent student, but the only subject I really enjoyed was mathematics. And I was like, I don't want to venture into something that maybe a bit difficult or something. So I called up a friend and I asked for a suggestion on what to study. And the friend suggested I study computer science. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. So I picked computer science as my second choice. And for first choice, I decided to pick industrial chemistry. And, you know, when people see that course combination, they'll be like, what's the relationship between computer science and industrial chemistry? And you know why I chose industrial chemistry? I chose that because the first student in my class to gain admission was studying industrial chemistry at the time. And then I chose FUTA as my first choice university, also because that student was in FUTA. So you can imagine how confused I was. Like I was not sure of what to do. I was just like living my life based on, oh, I see that this is good. I see that that is good. But I have been able to come a long way from that time to where I am right now. So I picked FUTA, and then I picked industrial chemistry as my first choice, and then I picked computer science as my second choice. But I would say fortunately, FUTA did not give me admission. And so the next year I decided to like shuffle things a little bit. So I picked computer science as my first choice, and then picked industrial chemistry still as my second choice because I was like, FUTA did not give me admission, so let me just move things around a little bit. And then I picked UI as the university I wanted to go to. And that time UI gave me admission. So I went into the university not really understanding what I was going into. And also, interestingly, I got into the university without any prior knowledge of computer science. And you know why I'm really happy about events like this? You already have some level of exposure, and that I believe that would make things even easier for you. So I went to computer science. I'd never turned on a computer in my life. In my secondary school, then we have a room where we have some computers, but those computers were never turned on. They just show us, this is the monitor, this is the keyboard, this is the mouse. And I believe some of you have even better opportunities now. So I went into computer science with knowing nothing, and you can imagine the level of confusion in class. I was in class with some students that were already operating computers from when they were kids, I believe, because they have wealthy parents and all of that. But for me, I'm from a really humble background. So I got into computer science, and I went through 100 level. But interestingly, I graduated, like my introduction said, I graduated in 100 level. Sorry, at the end of 100 level, I actually had the best results. I had only 2 of us were on the first class in 100 level, and I actually had the best results. So you know, the reason I told you this story is to let you know that whatever your background right now is does not matter. You can still triumph in tech. You can still triumph in whatever field that you have chosen. And it's the same thing for everybody, right? It's not like I was the best student in secondary school. It's just that, like Wuraola said, you have to like be curious, and you need to put in the hard work, and every other thing would eventually fall in place. So I hope that this story has helped you to see yourself as someone who can go on to be anything. I hope you'll be able to see yourself as someone, if you want to work with Google sometime in the future, it's very possible. Even with having very little understanding at this stage, so much is possible in the future. And so what did I do to be able to sail through from 100 level, from not knowing much before university. And so the first thing I wanted to get from that is that you have everything that you need to succeed, irrespective of what your exposure has been. And I'm really glad, again, I keep saying this, that you're already exposed to all of this. You're already learning from people that are doing well in the industry, from lecturers, that the things that are possible in the field. So you have everything that it takes to succeed, no matter your background. And the other thing is just to be consistent with your responsibilities, right? So throughout 100 level, I was just going to class. I stayed focused. I studied every day, not like extensive hour of study, just consistency. And I believe that with all of that, you would get there. And, you know, we need more women in tech, right? Like Mrs. I forgot the woman who spoke first. You know, she was saying that in the space industry, there are very few women. And in fact, in every STEM industry, in every industry all over the world, we need more women because we do not want to be left behind. And I love what one of the ladies who contributed in the debate talked about. You know, we're talking about AI, and if we leave all the trainings and decisions and algorithms to be built by men, it's going to be biased eventually. Actually, there is a lot of bias with artificial intelligence, and there are a lot of innovation that are trying to help reduce that or even remove it completely. So we need more women in technology, and we do not want to be left behind. And really, so much is already happening in tech. Tech powers every industry, from governance to finance to health. I heard a lot of fighting cancer with artificial intelligence, to manufacturing, education, AI, tech innovations are already doing so much. And something that I want to correct from the debate, I think there is a lot of mix between general tech innovation and artificial intelligence. So having mobile phone and laptop computers, they are not all the work of artificial intelligence. It's general tech innovations, but AI helps to improve things. In fact, at this age, any industry that really wants to multiply their impact or multiply their revenue, they must, it's actually a must that they adopt artificial intelligence. For instance, like when you're talking to reach out to customers, artificial intelligence helps a lot with that. So we want to be involved. So in fact, there is the Grasshopper initiative. There is the vision to have like 50% of women in tech by I'm not sure what year it is, and we need to start from now. So I really hope that with all these events, everyone here is having a change of mind about venturing into tech. It's for you. You can do it. Nothing limits you. It's not based on gender or anything. Women are already thriving in tech, in artificial intelligence, in security, and all of this. So I'm really encouraging every one of you to see the opportunity to participate in tech because you have what it takes to thrive. So I'll move on to my next task here, which is to hopefully let you see some fields in tech that you can venture into. And I'm just focusing on tech here. I know this is about STEM, science, tech, engineering, and mathematics. So there is a lot of other ones. You want to become a medical doctor, you want to become a pharmacist like Wuraola was previously, and all of that. But because I'm in tech, I'll just focus on this. And a lot has been said about machine learning and artificial intelligence, and the correlation between machine learning and artificial intelligence was already clarified by one of the judges. And so I would not spend so much time on that. But just know that AI, yeah, it is here to stay. And I'm sure most of you have learned about ChatGPT. Recently, Google introduced BARD, B-A-R-D, and there is a lot happening in that space. And, you know, like some of the some of those who talked during the debate mentioned, there is a lot that still needs to be done. AI robots could make mistakes eventually. So like, let me tell you an interesting story. So I was interacting with one of the conversational AI bots, and I asked, how do you cook jollof rice? And I'm sure most of us here are women, and we know that when you want to cook jollof rice, you blend the tomato. But this conversational AI bot told me you dice the tomato, and then you pour the rice in water and oil, and then after that you pour the tomatoes. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to cook jollof rice this way because no one is going to eat it. So there are still those errors, and there is still need for improvement. There is still need for improvement for self-driving cars. There is still a lot of testing going on. So there is a huge opportunity in this space for anyone who wants to be involved. And I know there are a lot of work that Tech Girls Club and American Corner are doing to support girls who want to venture into this. And then the second I will talk about is security, because that's my field. And so when we say security, I'm not talking about, people that wear uniform and wear cap and they stand in front of maybe a bank to secure the place. No, that's not what I do. What I do is to keep the bad guys out of tech space. And how many of you know about Yahoo Boys? You can put your hands down. Thank you. Yeah, when someone tells you you have won 500 million naira, and if you're using Gmail, you will notice there will be like a caption at the beginning of the mail that says, this is probably a spam or a phishing email, and it will tell you to flag it. So that's some of the things that security engineers do. We ensure that Yahoo Boys are not able to eventually deceive innocent people. And another example of what we do is, you can imagine you have, maybe your parents have huge amounts of money in their bank accounts, and then they want to use it to pay your school fees and your WAEC fee. And then somehow the next, maybe let's say on February 18, the bank comes out to say, oh, we had a security breach, and then a lot of money was wired from our accounts to an account overseas, and then the money your parents have been saving is all gone. We don't want that to happen. Nobody wants to hear that from banks. And so that's some of the work that security engineers do. We ensure that the tech space, all these tech innovations, they are secure from the bad guys, that no one is able to use them for bad things. And then lastly, I want to talk about like the very popular ones, software engineering and web development. They are different areas, but I put them together because of time. And a web developer, so I have this image of Google search. You see, it's like the web page. That's the work of a web developer. A web developer can do very simple web designs to very complex ones, to ones that you see a lot of screens moving, things are moving on the screen. So that's the work of the web developer. And then the software engineers are responsible for ensuring that things work just apart from the what you see, the look and feel. So for instance, when you go to a bank, you give your money to a teller, and then somehow at the end of the day, you get a text message that your bank account, you've been credited with this amount of money. So it's the work of the software engineer to ensure that when the teller enters the amount you're depositing, that it's correctly added to your balance, and then it's updated in the database and all of that. So that's the work of the software engineer. And there are so many more fields. There is the mobile development, the people that work on the apps that you see on your phones. There is like artificial intelligence, data science. There are so many fields in computer science. And, it has already been said, I really want you guys to be curious. That's the way to move from where you are to where you want to be. anything is possible in the future, right? You know, I work with Google. You can decide that, oh, I don't want to work with Google. I want to build my own Google for Africa. It's also possible. But for you to move from where you are as secondary school students to where you want to be, you have to be curious and be willing to ask questions, be open-minded, be ready to learn as much as possible. Do not limit yourself by, oh, my brain can only take these little things. I'm not wired for difficult things. No, if you don't want to do difficult things, then you may not get to the future that you actually desire. So that's how I want to encourage you this morning, and happy celebration to everyone. And if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box, and I'll be happy to take them. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. So if we have any comments, questions, you can just drop it in the chat box. It's going to be attended to. So I saw some key points in what Dr. Ayomide said. First of all, denial is not the end of the road. Denial is not the end of the road. We talked about how she applied to put her first, and then she was not given admission. I'm sure at that point in her life, she might be like, it might look like, okay, all hope is lost or something like that. But then, for the fact that you does not mean that you should now sit back and feel like that is the end for you. In life, you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep pushing towards what you want. And then you can always grow when you put your heart to it. If I got her right, she said when she first got into the university, she didn't even know how to operate a computer. And see her now dishing all this knowledge for her. So that is it. So no matter in life, whatever we set our heart to, we can always grow and become masters in our field. So thank you very much for that. And I also talked about consistency in learning. That, okay, when you want to gain mastery of something, you have to be consistent at your studying that thing. And I also got that point too. And then you talked about needing more women in technology. We need more women that will be confident to take up technological roles. So I'm sure that for everyone, every female listening to this, I'm sure that there's a quickening within you. There's a quickening within you that the world is expecting you. The world is awaiting you. So thank you very much, Mark, for that presentation. Thanks for the motivation. Thank you very much. And as I said, if you have any comments and questions, you can just drop it in the chat box. So we are moving on towards the end of the program. And I'm sure that this was a very beautiful program. This was a very beautiful, insightful, impactful program. Let's not forget to drop our comments in the chat box. So we are moving to the end of the program, as I said earlier, and I'd like to call on Dr. Grace to give us the closing remark. Dr. Grace to give us the closing remark. Don't let us forget the theme of this program, bringing everyone forward for sustainable and equitable development using technology. So Dr. Grace, we would like you to come on board to give us the closing remark.
Thank you, Tumishe, and wow, this is awesome, amazing. I think just like you said, it's the best of it all since we'll be organizing this program. I want to thank everyone for your participation. Our keynote speaker who has left, and our partners, Tech Girls Club, American Corner, who hosted this program on site. We really appreciate you, and the judges who have been there on site also, despite the unrest in Lagos and in some other places in Nigeria. We pray for peace of Nigeria. Yeah, we appreciate you all for still finding time to make it there. Dr. Chika, Mrs. Tejosho, and Mrs. Moyo, Asubiojo, we appreciate you all. We appreciate this, the debaters. It was awesome. It was really fantastic. Even personally, I learned a lot from the program. And even coming back to our speakers who have dedicated their time for us. For those of us in North America, it's still very early hour of the day. And for someone like Dr. Ayomide to turn up We really appreciate you. We appreciate Mrs. Wuraola. Yeah, every part of this program has been awesome, and I'm personally thrilled, and I'm sure that all the students who are here, you have learned one thing or the other. We have gained a lot from the role models, and the baton is on us now for us also to determine that if other women are making it, even myself, though I'm a girl today, but tomorrow I will also be a role model to other girls. So let's have that determination that we are going to get there. We are going to be up there. We are going to be the high flyer, and all the tips we've learned, let's put them into our practice, that we should be mastery of our own profession. Any field that you want to go on, make sure you are mastery in that part, and also be curious, learn, every part of it. I don't want to go over it and again, because already time is gone. And so many people also want to start going back home in Lagos, and even those that are connected from Ibadan. So on that note, I want to bring this meeting to end, and I want to say thank you. We thank the organizers once again. Like someone said, it's a lot that they put into the planning, and it was even a short planning, but we thank God that everything comes successful, even despite the unrest that happened today. But God still helped us that we have a wonderful time together. It was really impactful and inspiring. So I appreciate you all. And once again, I say happy celebration, happy International Day of Women and Girl Science. And then we'll see you again next year by God's grace. Take care and bye. And if Dr. Ronke have anything also to say, I think the floor is still open. I want to add one or two things.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Grace Oluwadebi. We appreciate you a lot. At this juncture, Mrs. Stephanie has something to say here at the American Corner Ikeja.
Okay, so please, I would advise that we've been putting messages in the chat for those that are joining us. All the campuses we have joining us. Please, it's very important that you send us pictures and attendance. How many people are in your party watching the program today? Please, before you leave, if you can drop it in the chat, that would be the best option for us. Otherwise, send it via email. We want to know how many people are joining from your location, or join the program from your location today. How many participants do you have? And if you have pictures for us, please share to our email, americancornerikeja@gmail.com. We would appreciate that, please, please, very important. Thank you very much. Dr. Ronke, over to you if you have something to say. Thank you. No? Okay. Okay, nothing to add. All right, so thank you all to the schools. Again, like Dr. Grace says, we will...
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nothing to add. Thank you from Ibadan. Yeah.
Okay, so we look forward to having you again next year as usual. Thank you to all our speakers, and thank you to our wonderful partners for making this a reality. We appreciate you all. Bye for now. See you next year, hopefully. Bye. Bye.